Hi everybody, welcome to Getting into Cosplay with Hikari. I'm your host, Hikari, and today we're talking about contests. So while cons are coming back, a lot of people are saying that they want to compete or start competing. So I thought I'd make this video sharing 5 things that I think I wish I knew and are kind of like my top 5 tips that I give to people when they say, oh, Kai, I want to start competing. I'm like, well, these are the things I wish I knew when I started. So a little bit about me, I've been competing since 2017. My first competition was at Anime North Texas. I was Lucina. I didn't win, but that's okay. It was there that I definitely got bit by the contest bug, and I have been competing ever since, with my most recent build being my Super Sailor Moon that I did with my friend Taco Cat, and we actually won Best in Show, so that's really exciting, but we'll talk more about that on Sunday. Anyway, back to this. So these are the things that I wish I knew when I started that I know now. That definitely would have helped me back then, so I'm hoping that'll help all of you guys. So let's get right into it with number one. Number one, coming straight out of the gate, the first thing that I wish I would have known is how important build books were. Like, I understood that people did them to show progress, and I personally, when I first got started, thought it was more like a confirmation of like, yes, I made this, here are the progress photos of all of that, but no, it's so much more than that. You have to think about it this way: when you're in prejudging, you can get like 5 to 10 minutes with the judges, and you basically have to like word vomit everything about your costume that you made from the top to the bottom. You're going to miss things, you're gonna forget to mention one thing that you're probably really proud of. But if you have this build book, the judges will be able to look over that later and see all the progress and stuff that you've made. It also allows them to see the inside of your costume, which we will get into later, which is very important. It's also really great because, think about it, the judges, they're seeing all these people and they have these books to go back to and be like, oh yeah, I really like that one. Didn't they have a build book? Then they're looking through their build book and they're seeing it. So make sure you have one. There's a lot of great YouTube videos about making build books, and if you all want me to do one on build books, comment below and I shall. I'm also going to link some really great Facebook groups down below for people who want to get into competing. They have a really good section on build books, just build books, in the group, and you should definitely check it out. Number 2, now this is the hardest category. I know that like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, masters must be so hard, and it is in its own specific way, but you have to think about it. When everyone starts, for the most part, they start off in novice. So the novice category is stacked. The first contest I ever competed in, there were 29 other contestants, so 30 novice overall, trying to win best novice so they can move up to journeyman. So novice is always the thickest category. There are so many people in it because, you know, everyone's trying to win an award to move up to the next level. And that's not saying that you can't move up to the next level on your own if you feel like your craftsmanship has grown enough where you'll be able to move on to the next level. So keep that in mind. Also, you know, you can always start out in novice, and if the judges think that your skill level is worthy of journeyman or masters, they'll bump you up. They have no problem doing that. So keep all of that in mind. Definitely something I wish I would have known in the beginning, because I was very distraught. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a novice forever. I'm not a novice anymore, but it can be kind of overwhelming and discouraging for a lot of people, but just keep at it, keep working hard, keep doing what you're doing, and keep growing in your craft. But don't feel like you have to stay in novice if you don't win a best novice. Like, you don't have to stay. And if you have friends who do craftsmanship and contests and stuff that are on a higher level than you, and you've like been growing your skills, like, hey, will you look over this? Do you think that this would do well at this level, or should I still compete at the level that I'm competing at? I've asked that question many a times to people. And so yeah, here we go. Now I'm a master level cosplayer. So this is something that I suggest, that I don't think a lot of people suggest, but I think more people should do. Watch videos of the previous contest if you can. This helps you see what the layout for the stage is, because every contest is different. Some contests have 3 X's, some people have 5, some people do catwalk style, and you don't want to show up the day of and be like, oh, I've been practicing this 3X walk on that is down to the T, and then they're like, oh, it's a catwalk. Oh, it's 5 X's, you know? And you're like, oh, well, now you're backstage trying to figure out your whole entire routine. Yeah, don't do that. Try to like get an idea. And sure, things like that will happen, but make sure that you're a little more prepared, you know? Also, I highly recommend in the same breath, if you're going to do a walk-on, make sure that your walk-on kind of shows your character. When you're on stage, you don't want to come off as someone wearing a costume of a character. You want to come off as that character in their costume. So keep that in mind. And I know everybody gets stage fright, just deep breaths. You can freak out after you get off stage. I do it all the time. When the lights are on and the stage is on, I am 100% the character. As soon as I walk off stage, I am a ball of anxiety with a capital T and a Y. So keep that in mind. Don't overcomplicate things. So I feel like people tend to think, oh, if I want to enter a contest, I have to do this giant build that's completely out of my skill level, and I gotta make armor, and it's gotta be huge. You don't have to do that. You can do things that you know how to do. I do always recommend that you kind of push yourself and try new things when you're doing contest pieces, just because like that's really fun and it helps you grow as a crafter. But you don't have to make giant ball gowns or super big armors to compete. You can make a school uniform and compete if you really want to, if that mug is nice. Like if that thing is clean, and we'll get into that in a minute. But you know, things like that. Keep that in mind. A lot of people think that you have to do these big glorious builds. You have no idea what you're doing and just like do all kind of crazy stuff, you know, to compete, but you don't have to. You can work your way up. That's why they have different categories, you know what I'm saying? So just start with something that you're passionate about. A contest piece should always be a passion piece. Don't just make something to compete in it because you think, oh, I think the judges will really like this. I don't like this character. I don't like this, what's going on. Like that stuff will show up in your costume. You might not seem that way, but I promise you it will. When you're working on something that you don't love, you will not be able to push through and finish if you are at the last minute. You just won't. Like, you just won't. Just trust me. Trust me. So don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You got this. So just keep that in mind. And last, but certainly not least, y'all, finish everything. What I mean by that, finish your seams, finish the back sides of your armor, make sure you finish everything. Like, make sure that mug is clean. Like, it has to be clean on the inside and the outside. I wish I would have known that in the beginning. I'm looking at you, Lucinda. I'm looking at you, Robin. 2 cosplays that I've done that were on the outside, I think looked pretty good, but on the inside, they were a hot mess. And I wish I would have known that before. Like when I first started like doing costumes and competing, I had no idea what finishing a seam was. So when I tell you that all my costumes had unfinished seams, unfinished hems, yeah, back sides of my armor weren't painted, you know, because I was like, meh, I don't have to do that, right? And the judges are gonna love it. No, sis, they're not gonna love it. No, my dude, no, my people. They don't want to see that. They want to see it clean. They want to see finished seams. They want to see that perfectly folded over edge. They want to see, you know, that perfectly serged bodysuit. That's what they want to see, because it's craftsmanship. So craftsmanship just isn't the outside. It doesn't matter how much that thing glows. If the inside is trash, there's like a chance that that can mess you up. Like, you want your stuff to be clean. If your stuff is not clean, like that's points that they're gonna take away from you. So please make sure to finish your seams, paint the back sides of your armor, like finish your armor. Cut all your strings. I was bad about that. I'm not even gonna lie. In the beginning, I used to have strings hanging everywhere. Man, I was such a gremlin in the beginning when I first started cosplaying and doing cosplay contests. I was a gremlin. So I had a lot of bad habits that I have since kicked. Thank the Lord for bringing good people in my life who were able to show me the error of my ways. And so I'm trying to be here for you and tell you not to do those things, because man, it's just crazy. Like, if I can be completely candid and honest with you, the level of craftsmanship when I look at one of my first like cosplays that I ever made for a contest, Lucina, compared to Supermoon, night and day. Why? Because this one, Supermoon, I finished my seams. Everything was done immaculately. Everything was clean edged. Every line was finished. You flip that thing, everything was finished. The bottom of the bodysuit, the armholes, pressed. Use an iron, y'all. Use an iron. Take an iron to your contest piece. Get a steamer, steam your contest pieces. And you know, it's so funny because I'm like saying all these things to y'all, but when I tell y'all that that was me, Lucina was wrinkly when I went into that contest. She was wrinkly. She had unfinished seams. Yeah, the prop was not, the paint wasn't sealed on the prop. What else? Oh, there's so many things that, like, looking back, I can nitpick about that, but you couldn't tell me anything then. I was like, oh yeah, this is clean. This mug is nice. I know what I'm doing, man. Go ahead and run me my award. I was so, and then after it was over, I was like, okay, I have a lot to learn, and I've been learning and growing since then. But that's what you have to have, like a learner's heart and a learner's spirit if you're going to do contests, and you gotta have a humble heart when it comes to, because you know you're not gonna win every contest. Like, no, that's not how that works. I mean, maybe for some people, but that's not how it works over here. So that's not, I'm just telling y'all, that's not how it works. So just always keep a good spirit and remember that this is all in fun. Like, you're supposed to be having fun. If you're not having fun competing, don't do it. If you are gonna compete and then go home and be angry and mad because you didn't win, don't compete. Like, save yourself the struggle. Competing should never be a toxic environment. It should be a fun environment where people come together to, yes, you're competing, right, and everybody wants to win. Like, I get that. Like, that's a little different. Like, sportsmanship and all that is important in cosplay contests. Yes, it's not a sport, but it might as well be. So at the end of the day, you need to be happy for the person next to you if they won, and just like you would want them to be happy for you. Do unto others as you would do unto yourself, period. But yeah, so those are just my tips for cosplay contests. I will probably do another one of these with some more tips. If you guys like this video, this is the part where I'm supposed to go like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification if you want to see more up-to-date videos. Yeah. Ooh, so fun. Yeah, hope you like this video. Anyway, but I think that's about it. Like I said, everyone can compete. Get into it if you want to. If you have questions for me, you know where to hit me up. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, if you really want to. I'm trying to get rid of Facebook though. But anyway, yes, Instagram, Twitter, leave a comment on YouTube. If there's something I can help you with, or some way I can put you in the right direction with someone else who can totally help you, definitely do it. If you've been competing for a while, comment below and tell me where you competed and what awards you won, or what cons you're looking forward to. I really want to hear about it. I've got a few more planned, hopefully for this year, if everyone starts acting right. Guys, have a super awesome, wonderful day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll be back with you soon. See you later. Bye.